Hello, you two. Another nice thing followed me home from the Goodwill today. Big pair of speakers here. Some big old Pioneer speakers. Of course, they've definitely been used. There's some veneer peeling from there. And on the back of, I think this one. No, yeah, this one. You can see the particle board got all kind of knocked apart there. Looks like it bumped right there against something. Look at that. Just comes right off. Whatever. But the surrounds aren't bad, and they look like pretty good speakers. So I'm thinking that these might replace the Technics if they sound better. If not, they can replace the crappy Bozak speakers I have. Hey, upside down. Let me fix that real quick. There you have it. Big old woofer. And these have a cloth surround, too, which is the main reason I picked them up. Because I cannot stand speakers that have foam surrounds, because they always go bad. And I frickin' hate foam. So, I avoid it most of the time. I don't know how big this woofer is. It's probably a 10-inch. Yeah, it's not a 12-inch woofer. It's a 10-inch woofer. It's got a big mid-range up here and a nice tweeter down there. There goes the furnace. Let's take a look at the other one too. They're both the same and they're both in pretty much equal condition. So, I'd say these are a pretty good deal. The odd thing about these is, as you can see by the sticker, or the data plate here, if my camera would focus, bastard. Anyway, they're 6 ohm speakers, which is a little unusual for speakers like this. They can take 120 watts of power if you have an amplifier that powerful. I don't. And the frequency range is about 35 to 20 kilohertz. So it's 35 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Which is not bad. I mean, if it had a 12-inch woofer, obviously it could go lower than that, but still, that's not bad. That's good enough for me. These are just filthy and need to be cleaned up, so that's what I'm going to do. Even the backs of the grills here are pretty nasty, so I gotta get my Electrolux vacuum out here and just vacuum the hell out of these. And the nice thing about these compared with the Technics speakers is they don't have those stupid louvers over the tweeter that rattle and break off and all that stupid stuff. I hated that about those Technics speakers. The Technics speakers do sound good, but the plastic louvers are, I think, the biggest downfall of that, because they directed the treble in a way that made it less harsh. And I liked that, but they rattled because of resonance. These have no louvers to worry about. They're just all traditional speakers. And they're screwed in, so if a speaker goes bad or something like that, I can always replace it. Heating commences. Anyway, I'll vacuum these up and then we'll take a look at them. Well, I got them cleaned up, and they look a hell of a lot better now. They're not perfect, but much, much cleaner. I'm probably going to wipe them down with a wet paper towel after this. But that's just cleaning up from vacuuming. The grills are pretty disgusting, but whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. These speakers look like they're going to sound good, as stupid as that sounds. So I'm going to take these upstairs to my main stereo system and hook them up, because that's where I intend to put them if they'll work in that system. Hopefully 6 ohm speakers won't be too big of a deal to that amplifier. Alright, I tested these Pioneer speakers out on my Technics receiver here, and this thing is rated for 8 to 16 ohm speakers, and I'm putting a 6 ohm load into it. The funny thing about 8 ohm speakers, though, is that a lot of them actually read 5 or 6 ohm when you put a meter to them. So not all of them are truly 8 ohms all the time. That's just not how speakers work. So putting 6 ohms into this should not be a big deal. Putting 4 and 2 ohms into it would be a big deal. And is the amp hot? Amp hasn't even gotten hot yet, and I've been playing with it for at least 10 minutes, so it seems to be alright. But these speakers sound fantastic. They absolutely trash my old Technics speakers. These were the SBL75s. These speakers are decent, but they are absolutely cheap and nasty compared to these Pioneer speakers. I mean, these seem like they were budget-oriented speakers at the time, but they weren't made of crap. These are made of thick, sturdy particle board. They use good drivers in them that sound fantastic. They don't use plastic louvers, which, by the way, I ripped out of this. You can see where they were in this speaker. I ripped them all out because they were rattling, and I tried to glue them back on, but that didn't work. So this is definitely a good speaker upgrade. These sound fantastic. The treble is not harsh. They have so much more mid-range than the Technic speakers. Big time mid-range boost on these, which I'm very happy about. The bass is still there too, and the bass is actually not as muddy as it was on these Technic speakers, and I think that is simply due to the cabinet. The cabinet's just thicker, so it doesn't resonate as much, I don't think. It could be the driver too, I don't know. But I'll switch over to the mini DV camera, and I'll give you some samples from my music collection.